Okay, so I know I'm a couple days late with my review. I was kind of late to watching Sistas because honestly, I forgot it was Wednesday. I had got thrown off because of MLK weekend. Shout out to Martin Luther King. Coming to y'all from my car today because, you know, just a lot be going on in my house. Okay, and if y'all wondering why I'm dressed up, my daughter had an honor roll ceremony today. I might insert a clip.
Why did she even bring that up?
And my son had his honor roll ceremony yesterday. All right, let's get started with the review. So episode 3, grand openings and closings. So I got my little notes right here. So I realized last review I had a little mix up when I was explaining like the whole triangle with Fatima, Andy, and Karen. I think I said that Zach's ex-girlfriend is Karen's about something like that, but y'all know what I meant. Fatima works for Andy, and Andy is friends with Karen, whose ex is Zach, which is Fatima's fiance. But y'all already know that. So anywho, it starts out with Fatima telling Andy about Gary being investigated. Like, and I was confused because like basically people were going through the firm where Andy works, and you know, I guess the FBI was there and stuff. And I'm like, does Gary work in the same building as Andy? Maybe he does and I just never realized it, or I missed that. But I was trying to figure out why they were at Andy's firm. But I guess it's just all tied in together. But so basically, Andy is panicking. She's getting scared. And y'all know Andy, y'all. Andy works my nerves because first of all, to me, it's not even believable that she's an attorney. So while Andy is panicking and getting scared, here comes Hayden. And y'all, Hayden usually gets on my nerves, but he just made me laugh this episode because Hayden is just truly, Hayden has no shame. Like, Hayden is who he is, and he is just truly embraced his role of basically being for himself. Like, hey, well, I don't know what y'all gonna do, but I ain't got nothing to do with it. I already done talked to the FBI. I already done cleared myself. What y'all gonna do? Like, he just don't care. I mean, done almost had a near-death experience with Fatima and everything and just still don't care. Like, just ain't scared. Hayden be wanting all the smoke. So Hayden claims he didn't snitch. And he basically tells Andy, like, you know, you look out for me, I'll look out for you. Like, basically trying to blackmail her. Okay, so we get to Danny, and she's at her apartment with Tony, and she's cleaning up and, you know, panicking and everything because basically we find out the therapist that she agreed to see is coming over. The therapist is coming to her, and, you know, she's trying to make a good first impression, which is normal. Like, I don't like nobody coming to my house and my house look a mess. Like, especially the very first impression. Like, but anywho, so she's cleaning up, and Tony's like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, the house is fine. And y'all, speaking of, y'all, Tyler tried it. Why he couldn't give Danny, like, a regular apartment? Like, why she got that living room / kitchen / bedroom? Why he had to do her like that? Like, I know rent is high in Atlanta and I know times are hard, but he could have gave Danny a regular apartment. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, I gotta hurry up. I got about an hour before I gotta get ready for my client. But anywho, so Tony's telling Danny, like, you're gonna be fine, everything's gonna be fine. And I don't know, Tony, he seems like he has all of the right qualities and he seems like he truly cares about Danny, but something to me just doesn't seem genuine. I don't know what it is. I can't put my finger on it, but something just doesn't seem genuine. Now, Preston seemed like he genuinely loved and cared about Danny. Like, for whatever reason, Preston was all in. He genuinely, like, he loved Danny until he just couldn't take it no more. But Tony, I don't know. He just seems like, I don't know. He don't seem genuine, but that's neither here nor there. But something is off with Tony. And I won't be surprised if later on down the season, we're going to see. And y'all, side note, Danny's boobs look huge this season. Like, is it just me? Or do they seem like way bigger than normal? Like, maybe she's pregnant or something. Like, I know she didn't get breast implants because she didn't need them. But her breasts, like, look huge, like to the point where like I'm so distracted I can't even focus on the show because I'm just like, why her breast so big? So Tony leaves and basically Danny picks up the phone like, oh, I ain't doing this. And she was trying to call the therapist to cancel, but while she was doing that, the therapist walked in. So then we get to Pam and Karen. They're getting ready for the grand opening. And basically, you know, Pam is getting on Karen's nerves per usual. And my thing is, Karen just acts like she's so annoyed with Pam. So just can't hardly tolerate Pam. I'm just thinking like, why hasn't she replaced Pam by now? Why hasn't she fired her by now? Like, if Pam causing you so many issues, I don't understand it. Like, because in real life, sis, you about to go. So they getting ready, and then basically the power goes out. And, you know, they're trying to figure out what's going on. And basically in walks the building owner. And she basically tells her, like, the money didn't come through for the lease payment. You know, it's on auto pay, but we didn't get our payment. And Karen is like, oh, there must be some mix-up. Like, you'll get your money tomorrow. You know, I'm trying to get ready for the grand opening. And she's just basically like, no, I need the money now or you ain't going to have no grand opening. And it is just ironic to me that Karen is dealing with who seems to be a Karen. Like, you can just tell the white lady was just being like nice, nasty. Like, oh, I guess you're going to have your grand opening on the street. Like, girl, don't play. So we can see that I don't know the lady's name, but we can see that she's gonna be a problem. But let's be real. In real life, if you don't pay something the day it's due, that's usually not cause for like crazy concern. Like, if your car note is a day late, they're not gonna come take it. Like, let's just be real. That's what I'm saying. She was being a Karen. So then we get to Hayden. Gary is calling him. Gary is basically desperate. Like, all the things I did for you, like, you need to have my back on this. And Hayden is like, look, I ain't got nothing to do with this. That was you. And Gary's like, oh, it wasn't a problem when we was making money together. And Hayden was like, yeah, but I thought it was legit. Like, I didn't know you was up here plotting and scheming and stuff. Like, Hayden like, nah, bro. Like, you on your own. I ain't got time. So then the camera pans to I can't remember her name. Was it Tamara? I can't remember. Y'all, I just realized my daggone shirt is ripped. But anywho, so then the camera pans to his wife. Y'all, did they get a divorce? I can't remember. I don't know if he filed for divorce and they're just waiting for it to be finalized, or did he get annulled? I can't remember. But anywho, so he's talking to her and she's like, he's like, I shouldn't even be dealing with you and I shouldn't even be talking to you. And she's like, yeah. She basically admits they did set me up to, you know, marry you. But basically, I've fallen for you. So, yeah, she's just basically there trying to seduce him. Because as we all know, in the words of Fatima, Hayden is thirsty. And, you know, y'all, a woman is his weakness, y'all. Hayden can't help himself. So we get back to Pam and Karen at the grand opening, and the delivery guy from last episode comes in, and basically Karen is explaining like how she had to send all this stuff back, and basically Pam is the reason why the lease payment didn't go through, because she's using the business account to buy all this extra stuff, all the stuff she cooking up, and yeah, so Karen was like, you cut off. I'm cutting off your access. And if you want to make these little projects, you need to fund it on your own dime, not on the business. So then Sabrina rushes in, you know, sorry I'm late. It's just been a lot going on. Y'all, Sabrina, it's just always a lot going on and she don't never really be having nothing going on. So Sabrina's like, where's Andy? And here go Karen. She just couldn't wait for her chance. She's like, I don't know. Ask Fatima since y'all all buddy. So Sabrina brings up, she basically just blurts it out like, I asked Richard for his sperm. And so at this point, Karen is fed up. Like, okay, none of y'all came and helped me. Y'all late to this grand opening. And y'all just coming in talking about y'all issues. Nobody don't care about what I got going on. So then Andy arrives and, no, actually, first Zach pulls up. And he's in the car, like, rehearsing how he's going to congratulate Karen on reopening her salon, but asking for the DNA test at the same time. So he got the flowers and he just rehearsing, and y'all, Zach, I feel like I think his name is pronounced DeVille. Is it DeVille? He is the perfect person for that role. I cannot imagine anyone else playing Zach but him. So while he's in the middle of figuring out what he gonna say to Karen, the door opens and it's a blast from the past. It is Miss Lisa, Karen's mom. Y'all, I'm just so glad that Tyler or whoever the powers that be decided to get rid of that Killmonger look she was going for with the little locks. That wasn't it. She looks so much better with her hair like this. But anywho, so she comes in out of nowhere, coincidentally, right before Zach is about to go in. She comes in and is like, Zach, what are you doing? You know, bringing these flowers to Karen is going to confuse her. She doesn't need confusion right now. Like, you know, she needs flowers. She needs to feel good. But you're not the man that she needs it from, because you clearly made your choice. And your choice is Fatima. And you need to stand on business. Don't come around here confusing my daughter. And, you know, Zach was like, you know, okay, I get it. So Zach decided to leave. So, basically we get to Gary and Pernell. Y'all, I thought that nickname was so funny. Like, I don't know anybody named Penelope in real life, so I don't know if Pernell is the normal nickname for Penelope, but just hearing Gary say, oh, come on, Pernell, I'm just like, oh, please, I can't. So, anywho, Gary is apologizing, y'all, for the, which must be like the 50 millionth time. Gary is apologizing to Penelope for smelling, for sniffing Andy's underwear. Like, how do you apologize for that? Like, you're not sorry. You sorry you got caught, but it wasn't like it was an accident. You wasn't using the bathroom and then somehow, like, you just stumbled your way across your ex-girlfriend underwear and started smelling it. Come on, man. I can't. Anywho, but he was apologizing, and he was like, I brought you your favorite food. And so he's opening the food for her, and then he purposely spills it on her dress. Immediately, I'm thinking, okay, what is Gary trying to do? This is just, y'all, as fine as Gary is, he getting on my nerves too. He is really just, Gary has been trifling the whole time the show has been on, but now he ain't even trying to be on a low with it no more. He just being flat out mean, and I can't get with mean. Like, come on, mean is just too mean. I don't like that. But anywho, he spills the food on her, and then he's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, the bathroom's down the hall. You can go get cleaned up. So she leaves to go to the bathroom to clean herself up. What did she do that for? Gary starts going through the girl's purse, and I'm thinking, like, what is he looking for? What is he looking for? He go through the girl's purse, go through her wallet, takes all her cards out, and takes pictures of her cards and put it back in her purse. And immediately I'm thinking, what is he about to do? Like, is he trying to transfer money to her accounts? Like, what? Y'all, what is he trying to do? And it took me back to, I don't know if it was the end of season 1 or the end of season 2, when he was like trying to get Andy's bank information to like transfer money and stuff like that. So I think this storyline has been building for some time, and here we are in season, we in 6 or 7. I think we in season 7. Now I think it's starting to come out about what Gary really has going on, which is clearly something illegal. So yeah, y'all, we gonna see what's gonna happen with that. Gotta hurry up because I don't want my phone to get overheated. So we get to the ribbon cutting, and you know, Karen, she cut the ribbon. She's happy. They're like, oh, we're so proud of you. And y'all, Karen just never being able to be content. She was like, oh, would have been nice if the father of my child was here. And Danny was basically like, yeah, because, you know, that's what he should do. Like, trying to be sarcastic. Like, he doesn't owe you that. He doesn't need to come up here. And she was like, well, you would think everything I went through getting this together while carrying his child. And, you know, Andy's like, yeah, you're right, y'all. And they just always, Andy is always trying to pacify Karen. When somebody needs to tell her, girl, Zach don't want you. Zach don't owe you nothing but to take care of his child. And we don't even know if that's his child yet for sure. Like, girl, chill. That's what I'm saying. Sometimes I feel like Karen's over Zach, but then sometimes she does stuff and is in her feelings. But that, like I said, that's what expected when you're pregnant and vulnerable and hormonal. So, anywho, Andy, in the middle of that, she gets a phone call from Fatima that her name is being mentioned at the firm. So she hurries up and leaves and gets to work. So then we go to Sabrina and Richard. Sabrina goes by the juice spot, and her and Richard are talking. And basically, long story short, Richard tells her, like, you know, was he the oldest or the youngest of 8? I think he was the oldest of 8 kids, and he always had to help take care of his siblings, and then they had kids, and then just kids was always around, and he just never wanted to see himself having kids. Basically, he got burnt out. And, you know, Sabrina's like, well, you know, I just never saw my life without having kids. Like, ever since I've been a little girl, that's just what I've always wanted. And they just basically like, yeah, I like you too. We can just see where this goes. But y'all, I'm not feeling Richard. He doesn't seem disingenuous, but he is just boring to me. Like, he just has no personality to me. But honestly, it makes sense because they paired him with Sabrina, and y'all, she ain't got nothing either. Like, I'm not even interested in their storyline. Both of them are boring. I have no, like, the most exciting thing she did was say she wanted to have his sperm so she could have a baby. Like, that was kind of interesting. But then I was really just sitting there like, Yeah, Sabrina and Rich, I could do without that storyline. But anywho, we get to Zach and Fatima, and Zach walks in with the roses and basically had to rain on Fatima's parade and tell her that the roses were actually for Karen because he was gonna bring it to her grand opening. And basically, Fatima's telling Zach that boundaries need to be set between him and Karen. Like, you can't be going up there bringing her flowers, and, you know, but he's trying to explain that basically, well, I was trying to soften the blow because I was going to ask her for a DNA test. Like, I knew that was going to make her mad, so I was trying to, you know, not make it as bad. And Karen don't care at this point. Like, yeah, Fatima don't care at this point. Like, yeah, Karen may get upset, but oh well. Like, this is what we got to do. We need to know if this is your baby. Okay, y'all gotta hurry up. My phone cut off because it's overheating. But anywho, so we get to Gary at his office, and he's doing something shady. I don't know what he's doing, but he got a guy on the computer doing some stuff, and next thing you know, the guy says, okay, I heard him say something about updating Penelope's insurance policy. So I'm thinking, okay, is this the policy that Gary has on Penelope? Like, is Gary about to plan to kill Penelope to get the insurance money? Like, y'all, I know. Tyler be going far. And honestly, I wouldn't even put it past, because, I mean, honestly, that's really nothing compared to other stuff I've seen in his ventures. But I'm like, am I hearing this correctly? Like, but then I'm like, no, he wouldn't need to have pictures of her debit cards and stuff in order to do that. So I don't know what Gary doing, but he doing something shady. And then basically we get back to the firm, and Andy and Fatima are talking, and they're trying to figure out why Andy's name was coming up. And somebody named Mr. Leland comes in. I don't know who he's supposed to be. I mean, he obviously works at the firm, but he comes in and he starts accusing Andy and stuff and telling her, like, you're shady, you're sneaky, we know about you and Gary. And then he just starts going off, like, I've done my research on you, you do this, you do that. And he gets so worked up that he ends up having a heart attack, and then the episode ends. Y'all, so we'll see, y'all. This episode wasn't as good to me as the last one or the first two. It was, you know, I watched it. It was watchable, but it wasn't as interesting. But I think it's setting up for episode 4, which is probably going to be really, really crazy. We're going to get some questions answered. But yeah, that is my review for Sistas season 7, episode 3, and I will see y'all next time.